Alright everybody, welcome back to Red Embrace, that awesome, sexy vampire visual novel. You know, when we left off, we'd gone to a club with our boy Dominic, the puppy of the group, and got into some, you know, blood-sucking times. Shit, this is me going, damn it, I actually liked it. Fuck. Acute embarrassment makes my lightheadedness vanish, and I know my face has to be the same color as a cherry. Or a tomato. Sorry if I was jerking around or anything. I hope you got enough. I'm not sure that's even possible. Uh-oh, he's got an addiction. Run away! To Sasuke! No, it's cute. It's cute. Dominic's adorable. As the last traces of that incredible sensation gradually fade away, I can't help but feel happy at Dominic's reaction. I said gradually. Gradually. There we go. I did it. He pulls me into another dance, and I notice his eyes are burning brighter, his usual cool expression now warm and eager. Even his skin feels a little hot, like part of him's alive again. And there's something strangely bittersweet about that thought. We dance for what feels like hours afterwards, though at the same time it passes in the blink of an eye. When I start to get a little tired, I lean against Dominic's chest, and a pleased smile briefly curls on his lips. Aw, it's cute. Finally, just as it's getting close to dawn, we reluctantly separate and make our way to the exit. Dominic's like, I don't know what to say. It's cute. It's still dark when we emerge on the street, although probably not for much longer. With the music now muffled by concrete walls, an awkward silence drifts between us. Let's go. Yes, sir. Right. Sasuke's like, yes, master. Shit, I entirely forgot that he was supposed to be taking me home. I'm sure he did too. He was very distracted. That was the whole point of meeting up, wasn't it? So how did that just happen? You're both distracted by the sexy blood drinking times. It's okay. I bite my lip as we head down the sidewalk again, but Dominic seems completely at ease. This guy, I guess he's not even worried that the other vampires will come after us. Am I the weird one for being so flustered about everything? We end up making it to my apartment building without any incident. When we reach the door, Dominic stops, so I come to a halt in front of him. Thanks. It's fine. Dominic, a man of few words. With that casual response, he starts to turn away. Hey, wait. Do you want some coffee? When I hastily call out to him, Dominic pauses to look back at me. Were you planning on coming back to the diner tomorrow night? You don't have to or anything, but... He tilts his head to one side, quirking an eyebrow slightly. I said I'd help you, didn't I? He sounds puzzled, as if that was only something natural. He's like, duh, I got you, because if I don't, you're gonna be fucking food. You're only food for me, Sasuke. It probably sounds like I'm questioning his kindness, but after tonight's chase, I wouldn't blame him for wanting to keep his distance. I just wasn't sure how long you would... Never mind. My response trails off into an awkward mutter, and I avert my gaze, grimacing. As long as you need me. That's so sweet. So cute. Dominic's words sound unusually gentle, so much that I look up at him in surprise. I need you all the time, so get your ass back here. But he's already turning around again, starting to walk away with his hands shoved in his pockets. This time I just watch his tall figure gradually head into the distance, until finally he disappears around the corner. My words feel like a dream, and I almost have to wonder if I didn't mishear him. It would have worked either way. As long as you need me. Seriously, what a weird guy. I mutter to myself in disbelief while climbing the stairs, unable to contain a smile. Sorry. I had to do something. Unlike last night, a warm feeling bubbles in my chest when I reach my apartment. I don't understand Dominic at all, but deep down I can see that he has a good heart. I keep expecting there to be just someone waiting in my apartment, like, hello. It's like, it's Rex, run away. It's the last thing I'd expect from someone who's supposed to be a blood-sucking monster. I guess you really can't judge a book by its cover, huh? Okay, to be fair, that's what covers are there for. Generally, you look at the cover, you see the art, and then you open it and you read the summary on the inside sleeve. So you're supposed to judge a book by its cover, so it's kind of a weird turn of phrase if you think about it. I know, I'm sorry, I'm analyzing sayings. Idioms? Is that the one I'm looking for? This time when I throw myself onto my bed, it doesn't take long for drowsiness to overtake me. You did lose some blood tonight, so understandable. As I slip into unconsciousness, the last image I see is Dominic's bright blue eyes glittering warmly in the dark, swallowing me in their endless depths. He's actually just there at the foot of his bed. And so began my new bizarre routine. Every night, Dominic would show up at the diner right as I'd be getting ready to close. After our encounter with Rex, he was a lot more cautious. We'd take hidden alleyways and pass through abandoned buildings, a new mini-adventure each time. There were a couple close calls, but we managed to avoid getting spotted by roaming vampires. Just barely. That's nice. Neither of us ever speak about what happened in the club. It's not like our relationship is awkward, but every time I think about the way we danced, my face starts to feel hot. I know it was just a spur-of-the-moment thing, probably meaningless, but no matter how hard I try, I can't forget the look in his eyes back then. Dude. Vacuum. Wow, time to leave already? I must have really been spacing out. I wasn't expecting to see his entire house, or his apartment. Is that a toaster? What is that? Just curious. Today marks a week since Dominic, or Dom as I've started calling him, first offered to escort me. But this time I've decided to man up and ask him if he wants to come up to my apartment tonight. Oh. Just for a drink. I mean coffee. No, just for a drink and a chat or something. He's not very talkative, but I think he might enjoy the company, and I'd like to get to know him better. It's so easy to forget Dom's a vampire, but the sense of loneliness he carries reminds me of the cold, solitary life he's forced to live in the night. He's a real Dracula. He stays away from his clan, and I can tell he misses his family more than anything. From what he's told me, I'm the only friend he has here. I want to help ease that loneliness for him, even if it's just a tiny bit. Sasuke, you're a sweetheart. You're gonna get gobbled right up, honey. The streets are still slightly lively as I commute to work, compared to their usual abandoned state on my way home. It's all vampires. He's like, oh shit. Normally I'd keep my head down and be lost in thought during the walk to the diner, but I feel unusually right today. Must be the adrenaline from my plan to invite Dom inside. I don't know why it's making me so nervous. I like this neon alleyway he just has by his work. It's the best. When I take a turn down a side street, I see the shape of a familiar building not far off. Isn't that the abandoned warehouse where Dom went to smoke the other day? I wonder if he's there right now, or if that's where he stays before he comes to the diner. Yeah, let's go right in. That sounds like a good idea. That's exactly what he's gonna do. God damn it, Sasuke. I hesitate, but my curiosity winds up being too strong, and I duck inside the warehouse on a whim. Downstairs, the dark, dirty interior greets me with the familiar hum of fluorescent lights. But it doesn't seem like Dom's here. There are a few fresh cigarette butts lying nearby, which means I might have just missed him. You should probably get to work, Sasuke. You should probably go. Oh well. Damn, why am I so disappointed? Because he's a hot stack of deliciousness. That's why. I'll get to see him tonight anyway, so it's not like it really matters that much. Looking for Dominic by chance? Who is it? Is it Rex? Is it Isaac? Is it that kid? Out of nowhere, a powerful voice resonates behind my ears. Ah, it's a random guy! Listen, I was minding my own business. I would appreciate if you would mind yours. I hastily spin around, coming face to face with a towering man. He's in a finely made suit, and he doesn't look like a thug. He's just hanging out in a warehouse, totally normal for dudes in suits who aren't making drug deals. What's he doing in a place like this? He's making a drug deal. I didn't even see him when I came in. Was he hiding? Yeah. Do you know him? I do indeed. He's quite an interesting young man, although a little misguided. He slowly rubs a hand along one cheek, watching me with eyes that are a vivid, piercing shade of red. He's like, oh shit. Wait, does that mean? Could this guy be? Oh, where are my manners? I entirely forgot to introduce myself. My name is Bishop. I am, to put it crassly, the leader of San Francisco's 2 clans. Wait, you're the leader of both? That's kind of fucking selfish. He bows his head to me a little, his tone polite and reserved. If he's the leader of both clans, that must mean he's the top vampire in the city. Okay, if he's the leader of both clans, why are they always fighting in alleyways? I'm just saying. The very thought makes me want to dash out of the room as fast as I can, but curiosity and fear keep me pinned in place. Nice to meet you. I'm Sasuke. I guess you must have heard about me from Rex? Bishop slowly nods, narrowing his crimson eyes for a moment. Oh yes. He talked about you quite a bit, including all of your special qualities. Oh, special qualities? Like this jacket? Naturally. However, I didn't come here intending to discuss such things now. That can wait for another time. The real reason I wanted to speak to you, or Dominic, was a certain rumor that's been circulating about you two. Pausing for an extended moment, Bishop lets his gaze drift up and down my body, and I hold back the urge to shiver. He gives off a strong, oppressive aura, one that feels like black tendrils wrapping around me and squeezing out my breath. You see, I don't allow my subordinates to engage in equal relationships with humans. Psh, dick. It puts us all at a great risk of being exposed, just from one tiny slip-up. A misplaced word here or there, and our veil of secrecy might be torn open. He gives me a wide, shark-like smile. Are you trying to say I shouldn't talk to him anymore? When my voice uncontrollably cracks with disappointment, Bishop laughs, although it doesn't make his expression look any kinder. Please, don't paint me out as such a villain. Too late. I have a different proposal in mind if you wish to hear me out. Bishop steps a little closer, and even though I want to move back, his crimson stare freezes me to the spot. You see, we're always looking for new, promising additions to San Francisco's coven. The vampires in Los Angeles, San Jose, even Fresno, their numbers are steadily growing, and soon they might even pose a threat to us. He reaches out with a claw-like fingernail to point directly at my throat. I clench my teeth, doing my best not to show any signs of fear, and stare back into Bishop's unblinking eyes. From your scent, I can tell that you're a Strix, a human with strong, receptive blood. My scent? Stop smelling me. Now that I think about it, both Rex and Dom said something like that. If you joined us, I would have no objections to your relationship with Dominic. In fact, I'd even encourage it. After all, he's a very lonely boy. Someone like you could keep him from acting out or causing us any further trouble. Bishop towers over me as he speaks, casting a long shadow that feels like it's swallowing me up. It's all too clear that he's giving me an ultimatum. Join us or forget about us. Otherwise, or he's just gonna rip your throat out. I'll be killed. What are your thoughts, my dear? I don't like being kept in suspense. Only if Dominic. To be honest, the idea of never seeing the sun again is a horrible one. Everything about my life would change and I'd be forced into a world of secrets and darkness. But if Dom was there for me, then I think I could endure it. I'd consider your offer as long as Dominic was the one who turned me. I really don't know how a mortal is made into a vampire, but if it's anything like the stories, they'd get bitten by another vampire. And if there's a permanent bond between the two afterwards, I'd only let something like that happen with Dom. Oh, you're a picky one, I see. Bishop seems greatly amused by my response, and he lets out a chuckle, letting me glimpse his knife-like fangs. Like, whatever, dude, I've seen cats. I've had a cat. Do I have to decide right now? When I worriedly look up at Bishop, he smooths a hand through his jet-black hair and offers me a shrug. I'll give you a day to think about it. Should you choose to reject my offer, however, I'm afraid I'll have to prohibit you from meeting Dominic. Through whatever means necessary. Dude, I'll kick I'm Sasuke. He's really not subtle about his threats, this guy. But there's not much I can do to argue, so I offer a hesitant nod in reply. If you really want me to join you, though, why didn't you bite me forcefully? I doubt I'd be a match for a vampire. My question causes Bishop's eyes to glint with a dangerous, amused light. Turning an unwilling subject often leads to troublesome side effects, my dear. Death is often one such effect, among others. I'd rather not see someone as promising wasted like that. You understand, I'm sure. I see. I grimace, unsure how I feel about being called a promising candidate for a vampire. It's a little comforting to know that they wouldn't turn me against my will, but an uneasy feeling still gnawing at my stomach. Excellent. I'm quite pleased that we settled the matter so efficiently. I'll see you tomorrow then. Make sure you consider things carefully, as I'm sure neither of us want a disagreeable outcome. Did he just Dracula out of here? He just turns into bats. Fucking dramatic bitch. Bishop offers me a sweeping bow, then turns around with a flutter of his long black coat. Yep, he's a drama queen. He walks towards the stairs, but to my shock, the second he steps into the shadows, his form simply disappears. Yep, he's dramatic. It must be some kind of power he has. The very thought sends unpleasant shivers down my spine. What a shady bastard. He's like, I'm still here. I heard that. I unthinkingly mutter to myself, then freeze, praying he's not still lurking nearby. But there's no reply or angry vampire kiss, so I guess Bishop's gone. His presence was so incredibly icy that the whole warehouse felt a few degrees colder. Shit. I'm late for work. What kind of awful situation have I gotten myself into? I don't want to give up my humanity, obviously, but I don't want to leave Dominic all alone either. And I have a feeling that even if we tried to keep our meeting secret, Bishop would find out. How am I supposed to make a choice like this in a single day? It's easy. Just say yes. After a little while, I warily leave the warehouse and head to the diner. For most of my shift, my head's in a daze. I have to ask customers to repeat themselves a few times as I'm distracted that I don't understand what they're trying to say. Bishop's offer weighs heavily on my mind, and my stomach is tied in an anxious knot, tightening every time I replay our conversation in my head. Sorry, I'm like half seeing the words and but mostly focusing on the story. Finally, closing time arrives, and I let out a long relieved sigh. Is it our boy? Is it our good boy? Oh, it's our good boy. As usual, Dom shows up at the door, coming to a stop a few feet in front of the counter. But this time he stares at me with a small frown, studying my face intently. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Just kind of worn out. Long shift and everything. Dominic's like, you're lying. I can see it. I can smell it. I can hear it. I'm a vampire, dude. Dom doesn't look like he's buying my excuse, and he keeps watching me with a worried narrowing of his clear blue eyes. Either I must look really terrible, or he's incredibly perceptive, or maybe some mix of the two. Let's head out. The smell of grease is making me more nauseated than normal. We leave the diner and start walking towards my apartment, completely alone on the deserted street. There's an unusually tense silence between us. I'd gotten used to Dom's quietness and normally kept up the conversation myself, but not today. I should say something about Bishop, but I just can't force any words out right now. It's like there's a lump in my throat. Poor Dominic's like, did I do something? Is it me? Only the sound of our footsteps on the pavement echoes around us. Dominic must sense something's wrong because he avoids my eyes and walks further away from me than normal. It doesn't seem like there's any vampires hunting us today, either. I almost wish they'd start up a chase just to break this awkwardness. We make it to my apartment before long, neither of us speaking a single word on the way there. Finally, when we arrive at the door, I pause and take in a deep breath. Hey Dom, you want to come inside for a bit? He's like, what? Is that what this is all about? No, I was threatened by a guy in a coat. He blinks at me in astonishment, like I'd just asked him to wear a tiara and have a tea party with me. Just for a drink or a smoke or something. We don't get to hang out very much, and well, I'd like to talk a little more. Dom hesitates, his eyes dropping from my face to stare at the ground for a long few moments. But finally he raises his head and nods, and I can't help but grin in relief. Come on then, let's not hang outside until the sun comes up, yeah? Yeah. He's like, vampire jokes, sunlight. With Dom trailing at my heels, I head up to my apartment and my heart starts to beat faster and faster. God, it's really happening. I actually invited him inside. I hope he doesn't think I'm acting weird or anything. I mean, this is a natural thing for friends to do, right? I think he sees you more as friends. Damn it, who am I kidding? I obviously like him as more than a friend, a lot more. Duh. Vacuum. Well, here it is. Make yourself at home. Sorry in advance for any clothes lying around. I nervously chuckle after leading Dom inside, watching him while his eyes dart around my apartment. The guy, the boss man, is just all sitting here like, hey, it's like, you said I had till tomorrow. You lied. I like it. A faint smile curls on his lips, lightening the shadow that's been there all night. Oh, really? I mean, thanks. Need some serious spring cleaning, though. As I scratch the back of my neck, uncertain of what to do next, Dom lowers himself onto the edge of my bed. The mattress springs creak a little under his weight, but he doesn't seem to notice. Yeah, because dude's a fucking giant. I actually don't know how tall he is. He's like 6'3" or something. So how about a drink? I've got some wine in the fridge, a couple cans of beer, too. You drink that cup of coffee, so alcohol's good too, right? He's like, Dom shakes his head at my offer. Instead, he just motions for me to come closer, beckoning with one hand. Sit down. Yes, sir. Okay. Swallowing, I step closer to him, not exactly sure if I should sit on the bed or pull up my office chair. Did he mean sit beside him, or... On my lap, idiot. Wait, what? You mean, if you don't hurry up, the sun's gonna rise. Sasuke's like, what? After Dom's coaxing words, I finally end up sitting in his lap, squirming a bit. Don't do that. You know it's gonna happen if you do that. It's not like I'm new to this kind of thing, but I can't calm myself down. Why are you so nervous? Because I'm in your lap. Dom asked me in a curious low voice, and a blush instantly rises to my face. He noticed, damn it. You're pretty bad at hiding how you feel. I think my 3rd grade textbooks were harder to read. Now you're just being mean for no reason. Maybe I wasn't trying to hide it. Sorry. Jeez, just kidding. When I mumble an indignant reply, Dom just snickers, tightening his arms around me. The gentle but firm way he hugs my body against him is oddly comforting, and I find myself relaxing before I even know it. I guess he shares my feelings, at least a little bit. The thought makes a happy warmth flood through my chest. Can I ask you a question, Dom? How did you turn into a vampire? He goes silent for a long moment. I feel him squeeze the fabric of my jacket, with fingers that tremble ever so slightly. I got bitten 10 years ago against my will, wrong place at the wrong time. He speaks with a resigned calmness, not the bitter tone I was expecting. 10 years ago? He's been living like this for 10 years? Once I realized that I was a monster, I cut myself off from everyone, everything. I hoped I'd just disappear, swallowed up by the shadows one night, and everyone would forget about me. The vampires here forced me into a clan, but it's all a joke. Creatures like us shouldn't even exist. There's no pride in what we are. I was tired, Sasuke. I came to your diner that night because I wanted to pretend I was human one last time. Rex was nearby waiting to ambush me, and so I was planning to let him tear me apart after I left. Oh, I'm glad I was there. I thought I'd revisit an old favorite spot, have my first cup of coffee in 10 years, and then head out for a final night. Dom. But when you treated me just like a regular customer, like a man rather than a monster, and after you didn't mention me to Luca as if you were trying to protect me, I guess I thought it'd be worth sticking around a little longer, just to see what you might get up to. Aww. My eyes burn and a lump forms in my throat. If I hadn't, Dom could have... Shh. It doesn't matter anymore, Sasuke. It's all right. He strokes a hand through my hair with a tenderness that makes my held-back emotion almost burst free. But I manage to swallow it back, and once I give Dom a little nod, he smiles at me reassuringly. I don't understand his strength. He's been living in solitude all this time, part of a world he doesn't belong in, and yet he's still so gentle, so kind. If I had known all this back at the diner, how would things have been different? Sasuke, something happened to you today, didn't it? He tilts my chin up so that our gazes meet, and his sky-blue eyes gaze into mine with a look of concern. Yeah, earlier this evening, I met Bishop. Dominic's like, oh shit. Fuck. Dom's face immediately darkens when I mention Bishop's name. I'm guessing he isn't too fond of him, and I can see why. What did he say to you? His voice grows urgent, rising slightly with suspicion. He said that I shouldn't meet with you anymore unless I join the coven. Dom's fingers curl more tightly into the fabric of my jacket. He watches me with an intense, unwavering stare as if he's trying to search the contents of my soul. Unsure of those contents myself, I gaze back into his eyes, glimpsing my own reflection. Is that what you want? His earnest question makes me pause. The truth is I don't really know, and I don't know if I'm brave enough to accept the new life hiding away from the sun forever. Yes. I guess this is the right answer. I don't really know. I kind of want to look it up and see because I'm a little nervous. I think if I do... Oh, it's locked, so I can't do that. Sure, let's do yes. But the more I think about it, maybe I don't really belong here at all. Maybe becoming a vampire would break me out of this lonely, unchanging life I've been living for God knows how long. Maybe I'd be more alive as a vampire than I would as a human, and maybe I could finally have someone else at my side. Yes, it is. I don't think that I'd mind. For a moment I sense a conflicted feeling in Dom's expression. He tightens his grip on my back, pulling me closer. If you accept his offer, you have to make me a promise. Oh, what's that? The look in his eyes is so serious that I instinctively tense up a little. Don't accept the bite of anyone besides me. Don't let anyone else turn you. Otherwise, something might happen. Part of his words sound uncertain, but the hesitance in his voice makes me wonder if he's hiding something from me. Earlier this week, he was talking about something different in my blood. Could this be related to that? Bishop too mentioned the same thing. Strix, he called it. Promise me, Sasuke. Dom interrupts my thoughts with an urgent murmur, as if he's worried I might forget what he's saying. Right, of course, I promise. My reply seems to set Dom somewhat at ease, and his impatient gaze softens. Puzzled, I start to open my mouth to ask what's so important about accepting someone's bite. And we're gonna leave it there on a cliffhanger, my lovelies. That's right, he's about to turn us, I'm sure. That's exactly what's going to happen. Oh wait, I have to save it, and then I have to click the box. Oh, there it is. Okay, yes, we're gonna leave it there. So, you're welcome. If you want to know what happens next, you go play. No, we'll play more tomorrow because I'm also like pretty like, oh yay, he's gonna turn Sasuke. It's gonna be adorable, cute, or violent. I'm not sure. We'll find out when we come back, won't we? Yeah, like I always say, I love this game. I love you guys very, very much, and I hope that you enjoyed this. It's a longer video than I usually do because I felt like it, because I can, because I'm an adult and no one can tell me what to do. You're not my dad. So yeah, I hope you guys love this game just as much as me. I think it's amazing. Like I said, Argent Games is just fantastic at writing visual novels. So I would definitely go play Your Dry Delight and also play this because you'll probably choose another guy to romance and you'll probably choose different pathways and maybe you won't want to be a vampire. Who knows? But yeah, I love you guys and I'll see you next time. Bye!